Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kadash. Double honors, as always, to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great Muslim rule well, and lead the flock by example. And Shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, Yahweh Shai's elect, starting with 144,000. And yeah, man, quick article here from the Independent Bulletin. It says Elon Musk announces plan for world's largest chip manufacturing plant. Okay, this article is from Monday, and yeah, exactly what it says, man. Pretty much, he's looking to invest money and set up this company called TeraFab, right? And it says has an aggressive timeline with early production slated next year and mass production target for 2028. The production will commence at Tesla's headquarters in Austin, Texas, manufacturing chips for self-driving vehicles, robots, and space-hardened chips. Okay. The project, estimated to cost at least $20 billion, aims to produce 50 times the current annual global output of AI chips. Now, obviously, whenever you hear chipping facility and you hear Elon Musk, Tesla, which, by the way, he's putting chips into people's brains. That's something that he's invested in. Okay, human trials and things of that nature. Now the same guy is talking about making the biggest chipping center in America. Now, that information starts making you think things, man. All right, and what it makes you think is, well, part of the plan of the elites is to the international banking elite, who they're over people like Elon Musk. They use him as he's an agent of theirs, to fulfill what they want to do. Okay, they're the kings of the earth, and what they want to do is they want to microchip the people. Now, the reason that they're doing that is because it's prophecy. It's the Lord has put it in their mind to do so, and I'm gonna get you the prophecy right here. Right, this is Revelation 13. Right now, the prophecy. The point is in 16. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read up a little bit to verse 14. Right, it says, actually, let's start from 12. Man, okay, let's read from 11. Right, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, now when you look at this current system, okay, the beast today is EU and NATO. Okay, and it's based on the Roman system. Okay, America is modern day Rome, if you will. Okay. Now it says he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. You got a two-party system. Okay. For example, you have the Democrats and you have the Republicans. Now Trump's in power. Okay, but what's he pushing? Draconian laws, draconian measures. What was Biden pushing? What was Obama pushing? What was Bush pushing? What was all these Clinton? What's being pushed? What's being pushed is draconian measures. Okay, harsh measures, and that's what it means, man. Right? So you see Trump right now. Trump's basically doing a mad one. Okay, and at the start of his presidency, you had that special relationship between him and Elon. Okay, and then that's kind of gone into supposedly they fell out, which that's kind of in the background because people don't take too kindly to the idea of him being so close to tech. But Trump and Elon are both just puppets of the elite, and what the elite want to do is chip the people. Okay, Aaron Russo. Okay, when he gave that interview to Alex Jones, and he talks about his friendship with Nicholas Rockefeller, one of the Rockefeller family, one of the elite banking families. He told him straight that one of their ultimate goal is control. They want to chip the people. Okay? And for everything to be in that chip. And we're going to get that. Let's keep reading. Verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay? Because Esau was taken out of power. Jake come up into power. And we were in power in the Middle Ages, Dark Ages as they call it, for about 1,000 years. Okay, and Esau started to come back up into power. okay, through the Borgia family and onto the Rothschilds and so on and so forth, and in the 16th century and onwards, and pretty much we're in that little season that is ruling right now. Okay, so that deadly wound of the ancient Roman Empire is being healed because Esau's coming back into power and is exercising that power. Okay, that Roman style rule. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Now, one of the ultimate examples of that is what he did during Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the end of World War II. Okay, and this man has been raining fire down from heaven. Okay, and when people saw that, they were amazed. Okay. Now it says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now, what happened is America, pretty much, you had World War One, right? You have World War Two, which is in the scriptures. Now, World War Two, when they dropped them bombs, okay, at that point, the world was looking at America like, we can't touch America. Okay? They had that atomic nuclear technology. Now, as it says in Joel, the 3rd chapter, let the weak say I'm strong. Now you have other nations that were at one point seen as weak. Now they have nuclear capability. Okay? Now, it says that, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. So the philosophies of this man's system, okay, this beast system, is being pushed upon the world. Okay, it's democracy, it's feminism. Okay, these different philosophies, okay, are being pushed. That's the image of the beast. Okay. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay? Right? Verse 16. So we understand all that. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Okay? So whether you're important in society, whether you're, a so-called average Joe, okay, whether you got loads of money, whether you're poor, you're, homeless or whatever, okay? Whether you're in the incarcerated, whether you're in the prison system, or whether you're so-called free, right? It says what? To receive, so that covers everyone. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now that mark in the in the Greek, the word there is charagma, okay? Meaning a thing that's inserted into you, cut into your flesh. It's a cutting thing, okay? And there's further root words that expound on it more. For example, the word karax, which goes into a pale or stake or palisade, okay, which is the sharpened point. That's the delivery mechanism of the microchip implant when they're injecting people with it. Okay, you also got grapho. Okay, what I believe it's carasso, sharpened to a point, and you've also got grapho, which is information written down, recorded, not to be forgotten. Okay, so it's talking about the microchip. This is going to be a thing that's subdermal, meaning put under your skin. It's going to have all the information on it. Okay, that's what these elites want to do. They want to put it, they want to chip the people. This chip is gonna have all your information on it, your identification, your money, your credit system, everything like that. And without it, you are not going to be able to partake in society. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. And we're going to read that, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. Now, one of the things that Elon Musk is pushing, as well as other companies, okay, he ain't the only one, and he's not the first one, okay, and he won't, this ain't nothing new. It's been happening. You got people getting Sweden, getting chipped and all sorts, okay, but this is gonna happen on a mass scale. All right, just like you had the sea ragamuffin, this is gonna happen on a mass scale, and a lot of people in the world are gonna get chipped. Okay, they're going to take that chip. They're going to take it. All right. They're going to trust in Esau and his system, and they're going to take it. Okay. Now, those of us of the household of faith, we're not going to take it. We understand the judgment for taking it, which is in Revelation 14. All right. Right. In fact, let me go to that. Right. And I'll read it before I close out this. Right. Just technical issues, man. So I'm just going to do the end of this lesson that I was meant to do. It's a quick part 2. Okay. I'll just have to upload it as 2 parts. But pretty much what I was going into is the destruction and the judgment for taking the chip, and how the household of faith, okay, we have the hopeful elect, we're not going to take that chip, okay, all right, and we're trusting in Yahweh Shemiel Shai. We're putting our trust in the Lord to be with us in that time and to protect and help us and save us and deliver us, okay. Right, so this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation and his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone," okay, them nukes, okay, and also them lasers from them ships, but them nukes, "in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." That's World War III. Okay, them nukes. So that's the judgment, okay, for taking that mark. And a lot of people are going to take it, and a lot of people are going to be judged. You know? That's why we're doing these videos. We're constantly doing these videos, warning. That's our job. Our job is to warn, okay, the people, warn the elect. Well, really, it's about the elect coming in. That's why we're pushing this word. But also for reading out the judgment of what's going to happen, okay? So Jake ain't got no cloak for their sins, okay? They're gone and trusting in Esau. They're going to have to pay for that, And we're also letting these heathen nations know what's going to happen too. Because after that chipping and the destruction, they're going into slavery. All right? So, hey, this was just a quick lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. And with that, man, I'm going to say shalom.